Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video, we'll be continuing our series, Is This Spirit For You? In this video, we'll be focusing on Relentless Gaze of the Sun. The setup is 2 presents and a Badlands on your starting board in the lowest number sands. The playstyle is Relentless Gaze is going to be using stack of 3 presents and high energy income to hammer the same lands with repeated powers. It is better at dealing with larger problems rather than smaller problems. It harms the land and Dahan while smiting invaders unless it successfully changes its nature by expanding into new elements, which may mean partially foregoing the sun and fire that form the core of its initial strength. It is a high complexity spirit. And once again, this is very accurate to what it's actually doing. In the early mid game, you'll be using that left innate as well as your damage cards destroying the earth. And then if you tech off element, you become more friendlier to the Dahan and you don't cause blight when you do your damage effects. Looking at the summary of powers, it is a very high offensive spirit, low control, decent amount of fear, little defense, and a little bit of utility. And that offense is tied to your innate as well as your power cards. The control to your power cards. The fear, you have a fear bomb card with blinding glare and unbearable gaze, as well as your left innate. Your defense is tied to your skip, and then your utility is your ability to place badlands and move badlands around and restore destroyed presence. Looking at that special rule here, it says Relentless Punishment. It says after using a power card, if you had at least 3 presents in the origin land, you may repeat it any number of times on the same target land. The energy cost of the power and +1 energy per previous use of the power this turn each time you repeat the power. So what is this saying? If you have 3 presents in the land, you may repeat the power card by paying an additional 1 per previous use. So we use Focus the Sun's Rays here, doing this 1 damage. And then we can repeat it by paying 1. Then we can repeat it by paying 2, repeat it by paying 3. But it all has to be in that same land where we have the 3 presents. Looking at the growth options, Sun is always placing presents. And then it has 3 options. It either gets to reclaim and restore destroyed presence, gaining a power card, or gaining twice the number of energy on your top track, which I think is really unique. Then you get to move 3 presents. Looking at your tracks, you end at 5 energy and 4 plays. You have 3 sun, a fire, and an any, and a reclaim 1. And once again, Relentless Gaze is another spirit that we spent a lot of time on making sure we have a pure top track, literally only playing a single card, but making it work. Mixed track builds, as well as pure bottom track, and flexing the 2 energy, pure bottom track. So lots of different builds depending on your play style. The 2 innates, we have Scorching Convergence. This allows you, it's a sacred site, 1 range, slow power. It allows you to move all of your presence from the origin to the target land, doing a damage. You then get to do 3 damage to invaders, 3 damage to Dahan, adding a blight with that 3 sun and fire. If you have the 3rd threshold, you get to do 3 fear. And then the final threshold lets you do a lot of extra damage. Now this red innate is consider a harmonious nature targeting yourself, and this is going to require you to draft off element. If you draft the moon, it says when your powers would add blight, you may destroy presence instead. And this is absolutely insane because this means your left innate would not cause blight, but it also means that any minor or major that you pick up that adds blight, now if you have that moon, it means you do not. So a good example would be Land of Haunted Embers, where you would add a blight push things. Well, now you just destroy a presence, and now you don't have to add that blight. Now that 2nd threshold requires water, and it means that your powers do not damage or destroy Dahan. Once again, your innates, as well as any card you pick up. Now the 3rd threshold allows you to restore destroyed presence from other spirits, which is pretty cool. And this final threshold allows you to give some of your energy to another spirit. Fun fact, this when they were tuning the spirit down, this threshold allowed it actually used to just gain another spirit used to just gain 3 energy rather than you would lose it. They would just get +3. But that was one of the choices they decided to make when weakening the spirit. Looking at the power cards here, we have Blinding Glare, which is a fast power, cost 0. It's a sun air. You either gain 2 fear or you skip 1 ravage action. If you have 5 sun, you may instead gain 3 fear and skip up to 1 invader action. So in the early game, this is your powerful skip. In the late game, you can use this card to rush the fear deck, generating massive amounts of fear. Unbearable Gaze, it's a 1 energy slow power from a sacred site, 1 range. It's a sun fire. It has 1 fear, push 2 explorers towns from the origin or target land. And this card is critical to allowing you to deal with multiple problems with a single action. We have Wither Bodies and Scar Stones. 1 energy slow, 2 range from a sacred site, sun, fire, earth. 1 damage or adds a Badlands. And finally, Focus the Sun's Rays. It's a 0 cost slow, sun, fire, air, 2 range from a sacred site, 1 damage, 2 damage to Dahan, and then you may move up to 3 presence directly to target land, and then you may bring a total of 1 Badlands. So this allows you to move Badlands, which is a really, really cool effect that doesn't actually exist in the game. So, Gaze. This is a spirit that if you like offensive tools, this is the spirit to play. It generates a lot of it generates a lot of fear. It does a lot of offense. It has some utility tied into it. You're going to be destroying the island, adding blight, killing Dahan, but also killing the invaders. This is a spirit that if you like repeating the same power over and over again, you're going to enjoy playing the spirit quite a lot. It also is a spirit that kind of pushes the player to draft off element with that right innate, which could be a fun little mini game that you can do. If you like this video, like, subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video.